Man here. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing. You know, with news out that Terence Crawford, is looking to go to welterweight and looking to go to the full-fledged 147. And given what he done at 140, totally undisputed. Now basically can't find a decent opponent at 140. Mikey Garcia don't want to have nothing to do with him. It seems as if that Terence Crawford's journey forward is going to require some changes, unfortunately. I never usually condone, when people should leave and all this other stuff because you don't know what kind of business or money arrangements that they have with the entity that they with. But look, man, if everything checks out, I think it's about time for Terence Crawford to leave Top Rank Promotions. Right now, going forward for the career of Terence Bud Crawford on the horizon, things ain't looking good if he remains with Top Rank Promotions. Now, they pay Terence Crawford very well. They seemingly keeps him happy. They managed over time to finagle opponents here and there and got some decent names in the ring with Terence Crawford while he was down at 140. Now that he's coming up to welterweight, but things is changing. We know at welterweight what's going on with Top Rank Promotions, and Terence Bud Crawford, take your mind, ladies and gentlemen, is a big name fighter. Now, I'm not saying that Bob Arum can't do business with any of the PBC fighters, the Al Heyman fighters. It's been done in the past. I'm not saying that they can't do business, but they seemingly are reluctant to do business. You know what I'm saying? Where it doesn't still flow smoothly. And we know Bob Arum is not doing any business with Golden Boy Promotions and Oscar De La Hoya. So you look at the short list that this makes for Terence Crawford at welterweight, and you got to ask yourself, like, what the hell? Right now, you got the Jeff Horn, Manny Pacquiao situation playing itself out, in which news has came out where Manny Pacquiao has basically stalled the rematch and looking to push it into next year, hopefully giving himself time to, I'm sure, try to relocate the fight, given that he felt as though he was robbed down in Australia. And for y'all Pacquiao fans, man, that should be worrisome, because if Pacquiao is going into this rematch with the same exact mind frame that he went in with the first one, like he ain't get robbed, like he did everything right, that's concerning. But still, Jeff Horn now is going to look to possibly take another touch. And we're looking at Lucas Matisse. It's another foreign guy right there at welterweight. You know what I mean? That we see Jeff Horn calling out the likes of Jesse Vargas. So, it doesn't seem as if that fight right there or anything having to do with that situation is going to play out in Terence Crawford's favor. Because Terence Crawford heading to welterweight now, that if that takes off the table Jeff Horn, Manny Pacquiao, maybe even possibly Jesse Vargas. Jesse Vargas' situation with Top Rank is not even all the way clear yet. With Jesse Vargas is I don't know if he's going to be leaving Top Rank soon or not, or officially announcing such, because he's been having some contract disputes. So, whatever the case may be with that situation, man, that takes a lot, that whole cluster of fighters, which is basically damn near all that Bob Arum has at welterweight, off the table for Terence Crawford. So where does he pivot? I mean, even with Lucas Matisse, in that case, like, he fights with Golden Boy now. So all the other dudes, the Thurmans, the Spencers, I mean, who we talking about here? Danny Garcia's, all that, Sean Porter's, they all over with Al Heyman. So where does Terence Crawford go? It's reasons like this, man, that has started a situation. And, truth be told, I don't even want to see Terence Crawford in the WBO / Top Rank carousel going round and round fighting those guys. You know what I'm saying? The Manny Pacquiao fight, which, truth be told, let's keep it all the way live, that is the sole really reason why Terence Crawford really earlier never really came to welterweight, which thank goodness for us he didn't, because he became totally undisputed at 140. But the real reason he ain't come to welterweight is because Bob Arum didn't want to have to deal with the situation of Terence Crawford facing Manny Pacquiao at the time, when he was trying to juice the last little bit out of Manny Pacquiao that he could. And at the time, business-wise, that wouldn't have been good for Bob Arum. So Terence Crawford, who's been whispering in the past that he would have liked to came to welterweight, he chose to stay down at 140. Which still, it worked out for him, because he still had some good fights down there with guys like Diaz, and also, the Victor Postal fight and the Julius and Dongo fight. So he had some decent names down there at 140. But still, it would have been good to see him chop it up with maybe even Adrian Bronner before Adrian Bronner got beat. But now, even down at 140, Mikey Garcia, who's the other guy who we'd love to see Terence Bud Crawford get in the ring with, he can't go anywhere near the Top Rank situation, given he's now doing business with Al Heyman, and he had legal things, and legal problems, basically, with Bob Arum and Top Rank Promotion. So that fight ain't even on the table for Terence Crawford at 140. The walls are closing in everywhere Terence Crawford looks in his career, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to big name fights. And it's all because of him being basically down with Top Rank Promotions. So in situations like that, man, I mean, hey, man, I can't say what Terence Bud Crawford should do as far as who he should get with, this, and the third. Maybe he should just get with a promoter that works with Al Heyman, or a promoter that can work with everybody across the board. There are other promotional companies out there, and they can get on some big cards. But unfortunately, this ESPN exposure that Top Rank Promotions has going on right now, putting Terence Crawford on ESPN, that's big for him. That's real big, too. But it's just not going to be a good look for him to be fighting a bunch of bums on ESPN, being honest. I would like to see, honestly, Terence Crawford and Jeff Horn. If Manny Pacquiao ain't ready to take this fight right now, then, hey, pushing it all the way to next year, man, come on, man. Then let Jeff Horn face Terence Crawford. That's on Manny Pacquiao. And then if he wants to rematch Jeff Horn then if Jeff Horn takes the loss and loses his title, that's on Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao just can't just up and postpone a fight up until next year. Oh, he got to go to China. Man, come on, man. Manny Pacquiao could have got out of that situation if he wanted. What they ain't over there talking about nothing that he has to be there. Come on, Joe. Ain't nobody buying that. So once again, you see Terence Crawford getting held back even if he decides to go to welterweight under Top Rank, because they're not going to make the Terence Crawford and Jeff Horn fight. That's just not being discussed right now, and Bob Arum doesn't even want to hear nothing about that. So it's just becoming clear to me, Terence Crawford will have to leave Top Rank Promotions, unfortunately. Hey, who he gets with, somebody that works across the board, that plays across the board, because there's a lot of names at welterweight we would love to see Terence Crawford mix it up with. A lot of people say that the dream fight will be Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. Well, that ain't possible right now, unless Bob Arum is going to reach across the aisle and do business with Al Heyman. This is the part where Al Heyman is going to come up on Bob Arum, man, because in order for his welterweights to shine at that division, he's going to have to reach across the aisle. There's just not enough names on the Top Rank side for these dudes to be big stars. And that's just being real, especially with the decline of Manny Pacquiao. So we'll see. So to the next video, Main Man, Made Man. Don't forget to subscribe to Twitter, Made Man 511, Facebook, Main Man, Made Man Boxing Forum, Google Plus, Main Man, Made Man. I mean, hey, man, if they can make the Mikey Garcia fight, that'd be awesome. Mikey Garcia need to stop being pussy and get in there with Terence Crawford. But then again, you know what? I take that back. I don't want to say that because it could be something legal, whatever. The differences that he's had with Bob Arum, you know what I mean, and Top Rank Promotions. I don't want to put that in Mikey Garcia's lap. But I wish that fight could come to fruition. But given that it ain't, now that Terence Crawford is coming to welterweight, who are we seriously talking about? And not imaginary. Well, who are we seriously talking about? To the next video. Peace out.